Space was quiet, too quiet. A wide field of broken ships floated in the dark. Pieces of metal drifted slowly, turning in silence. Old battle scars still marked the area. This place was once a war zone, and everyone believed the war had ended here. But they were wrong. Far away, behind a large shadow, something moved. At first, it was just a faint blue light. Then slowly, a massive ship came into view. It was dark, sharp, and different from anything seen before. Its surface looked damaged, but also stronger, like it had been rebuilt for only one purpose. Revenge. Inside that ship stood a man. He did not speak. He did not move much. His eyes were fixed on the empty space ahead of him. This man was once feared across the galaxy. A rogue commander who had challenged humanity, and lost. Badly. Years ago, his fleet was destroyed by human forces. His name was erased from records. Many believed he died in that final battle. But he survived. And now, he was back. The ship engines glowed brighter. A low sound echoed through the darkness as the ship moved forward, passing through the broken remains of his old defeat. He remembered everything. The explosions. The fire. The moment he lost. His hands slowly tightened. This time, he said quietly, it will be different. At the edge of human space, a small outpost floated near an asteroid belt. It was calm. Soldiers worked as usual. Nothing felt wrong. Until the radar blinked. Unknown signal detected, one officer said. Another looked at the screen. That's not possible, nothing should be out there. The signal grew stronger. Then suddenly, a massive shadow appeared. Before anyone could react, the dark ship came out of nowhere. Its weapons powered up instantly. Raise shields, someone shouted. Too late. A single blast of blue energy hit the station. Everything exploded. No warning. No chance to escape. Within seconds, the outpost was gone. News traveled fast. One station lost. Then another. Human colonies at the edge of space started going silent. Ships sent to investigate never returned. Fear began to spread. In command centers, leaders argued. Who is doing this? How are they this powerful? Why now? No one had answers. Until a message arrived. It came from deep space. Old signal code. Almost forgotten. When they opened it, the room went silent. A face appeared on the screen. Cold. Calm. Familiar. It can't be, one officer whispered. The rogue commander looked directly into the camera. I gave you time, he said slowly. Time to remember what you did. No one spoke. His voice was steady, but filled with anger. You thought I was gone. You thought you had won. He paused. You were wrong. The screen flickered slightly as his ship moved behind him. Dark walls. Strange lights. Unknown technology. I have returned, he continued. And this time, I will finish what I started. The message ended. Silence filled the room. Hours later, reports came in. Entire patrol fleets destroyed. Not even a fight. This was not random. The attacks were planned. Careful. Precise. The rogue was not just attacking, he was hunting. In deep space, his ship moved again. Faster now. Stronger. He watched as another human ship appeared on his radar. A small one. Weak. He did not hesitate. Fire. The blast cut through space like light. The human ship had no chance. It vanished in seconds. No emotion crossed his face. For him, this was only the beginning. Back on Earth, the highest command gathered. The situation was clear now. An old enemy had returned, stronger than before. And this time, he was not alone. His ship was different. His power had grown. Something had changed. Something dangerous. One leader finally spoke. If we don't stop him now, we lose everything. Another looked down, thinking. Then quietly, he said. There is only one person who can handle this. The room turned still. Everyone understood. But no one said the name out loud. Not yet. Far out in space, the rogue stood alone, looking at the stars. His voice was low. Humanity will fall, he said. Behind him, his ship prepared for the next jump. More targets. More destruction. More revenge. The engines burned bright. And in seconds, he disappeared into the darkness again. The silence after the attacks felt heavy. Not peaceful, but waiting. Across human space, alarms started ringing. One system after another reported the same thing: lost signals, destroyed ships, no survivors. It was no longer a mystery. It was a hunt. On a distant colony world, people looked up at the sky with fear. Trade ships stopped arriving. Messages from nearby stations suddenly ended in the middle of sentences. Something was coming. And everyone could feel it. Inside a military command ship, officers stood around a large holographic map. Red lights blinked across multiple systems. Each red light meant one thing. Gone. They're not random attacks, one officer said. He's choosing targets. Another zoomed the map in. These are supply lines, defense points, communication hubs. A third officer spoke in a low voice, he's cutting us apart, slowly. No one argued. Because it was true. Far away, hidden inside the darkness of space, the rogue commander watched it all. His plan was working. Every attack had a purpose. Every strike made humanity weaker. But he was not rushing. He wanted them to feel it. The fear. The pressure. The loss. He remembered how it felt to lose everything. Now, it was their turn. A human battle fleet finally tried to stop him. 3 large warships, supported by smaller fighters, moved into position near an asteroid belt. They waited in silence, ready for combat. This is Captain Rena, a voice came through the comms. All units, stay sharp. We don't know what he can do. Moments passed. Then suddenly. Contact. The rogue ship appeared without warning, as if it came out of nothing. Fire. Captain Rena ordered. Lasers filled the space. Bright beams shot toward the dark ship. But something was wrong. The attacks didn't hit. They bent. They curved away like they were being pulled. What is that? Someone shouted. The rogue ship moved smoothly, untouched. Then it fired back. One blast. Just one. A human warship exploded instantly. No, that's impossible, Captain Rena whispered. Before they could react again, more blasts followed. Fast. Accurate. Deadly. Within minutes, the entire fleet was gone. No survivors. The news hit harder than before. This was not just an enemy. This was something else. Something beyond normal war. Panic started spreading across civilian systems. People rushed to leave their homes. Transport ships became overcrowded. Some even tried to escape into deep space, not knowing where to go. They just wanted to get away. Back in command, tension grew worse. We are losing too fast, one leader said. Our fleets cannot stop him. Another added, his technology is unknown. Our weapons don't work. Silence followed. Then someone asked the question everyone feared. What if we can't win? No one answered. In the shadows of space, the rogue commander stood still again. He watched a recording of his old defeat. The moment his fleet was destroyed. The moment humanity crushed him. His eyes burned with quiet anger. "You made me weak," he said softly. The screen changed. Now it showed human worlds. Cities. Fleets. Life. But now, I am stronger. He turned away. Now, I am the end. Another system fell. Then another. Each attack was faster than the last. Human defenses were breaking. Hope was fading. Finally, in the highest command chamber on Earth, a decision had to be made. A long silence filled the room. Then one senior officer stood up. "We cannot fight him like this," he said. "We are playing his game." Another looked at him. "Then what do we do?" The officer took a deep breath. "We change the game." Everyone watched him closely. He spoke one final line. "It's time to call the Admiral." The room went completely still. That name carried weight. Respect. Fear. And something else. Hope. Far across the galaxy, in a quiet sector untouched by war, a single human ship floated alone. No fleet. No noise. Just silence. Inside, a man stood looking at the stars. Calm. Still. Focused. As if he already knew. A message arrived. He read it once. Then slowly, he closed his eyes. "The storm has started," he said quietly. He turned toward the command deck. "Prepare the ship." His voice was calm. But something had changed. The ship moved without sound. No large fleet. No loud engines. Just one quiet human vessel drifting through deep space. Inside, everything was calm. Too calm. The man known as the Admiral stood near the main window, looking out into the endless dark. His face showed no fear. No anger. Only focus. He had seen wars before. And he knew one thing. Loud enemies make mistakes. Quiet ones end wars. Behind him, a young officer spoke carefully. "Sir, we have reports from all sectors. The rogue is still advancing." The Admiral did not turn. "I know," he replied. Another officer stepped forward. "Our fleets cannot stop him. His ship, it's different." The Admiral finally looked at the screen. Dozens of red marks blinked across the map. Lost systems. Destroyed fleets. Broken defenses. He studied them in silence. Not with fear. But with interest. "Zoom in," he said. The map changed. The red marks formed a pattern. At first, it looked random. But then, the Admiral's eyes narrowed slightly. "He's not just attacking," he said. The officers looked confused. "Sir. He's guiding us," the Admiral continued. "Pushing our forces where he wants them." Silence filled the room. "He's controlling the battlefield, before the battle even begins." Far away, the rogue commander stood on his ship, watching the same map. Human fleets were moving exactly how he expected. "They're reacting," he said softly. "Predictable." His second-in-command nodded. "Soon, they will have nowhere left to run." The rogue smiled slightly. "This time, they lose everything." Back on the Admiral's ship, a new command was given. "Do not engage him directly," the Admiral said. The officers were surprised. "But sir, if we don't fight, he will keep destroying systems." The Admiral walked slowly toward the center of the room. "If we fight him now, we lose," he said calmly. No one argued. Because deep down, they knew it was true. Then what do we do? The young officer asked. The Admiral stopped. We make him think he is winning. The room went quiet. Hours passed. Then days. Human fleets started pulling back. Defensive lines were abandoned. Ships retreated from key systems. To the outside world, it looked like humanity was falling apart. Panic grew even stronger. He's winning, people said. There's no one to stop him. The rogue commander saw it too. Human fleets running. Defenses collapsing. Exactly as planned. They've lost their will, his second said. The rogue nodded slowly. Yes, just like before. But something felt off. Small. Hard to notice. But it was there. Meanwhile, the Admiral stood alone again, watching a different map. Not the public one. A hidden one. This map showed something else. Positioning. Movement. Timing. Every human ship that retreated had a new location. A purpose. A role. The Admiral was not running. He was building something. Quietly. Carefully. Set the final position, he ordered. Coordinates appeared on screen. A dangerous zone filled with massive asteroids and unstable energy fields. A place no normal fleet would choose to fight. Sir, that area is too risky, an officer said. Even our ships. That's why he will come, the Admiral replied. The officer paused. Then slowly understood. The rogue commander stared at the latest human movement. They're gathering, his second said. In this sector. The rogue looked closer. An asteroid field. Unstable space. Limited escape paths. A small smile appeared on his face. They're desperate, he said. They want one final fight. He turned toward the front window. Good. The Admiral watched the same location. His face remained calm. He thinks this is his victory, the young officer said. The Admiral shook his head slightly. No, he replied. This is his ending. Both ships moved. Closer. Faster. Toward the same point in space. One driven by revenge. The other, by strategy. The galaxy held its breath. No more running. No more waiting. The final clash was coming. The rogue commander stood tall, his voice filled with confidence. This time. I will erase them. On the other side, the Admiral gave his final quiet order. All units, hold position. His eyes stayed fixed ahead. Cold. Focused. Ready. Because the rogue came for revenge. But the Admiral came to finish it. The asteroid field was silent. Huge rocks floated slowly in the dark, turning like sleeping giants. Small flashes of energy moved between them, making the space unstable and dangerous. It was the perfect place for a trap. And the perfect place for a final fight. Hidden among the asteroids, human ships waited. No lights. No noise. Just silence. Every pilot held their breath. Every weapon was ready. They could see nothing. But they knew. He was coming. On the Admiral's ship, the command room was calm. Too calm for a battle. Positions locked, an officer said quietly. All units holding, another added. The Admiral stood still, watching the empty space ahead. He did not rush. He did not speak. He waited. Then. Contact. A single word. But it changed everything. The rogue ship appeared from the darkness. Slow. Confident. Like a predator entering its territory. His engines glowed deep blue, lighting up the asteroids around him. The massive ship moved forward without fear. They're here, his second-in-command said. The rogue smiled. I know. He looked around. No human ships. No defenses. Nothing. They are hiding, he said. Good. Suddenly. Now. The Admiral's voice broke the silence. Human ships came alive. From behind asteroids, from below, from above. Dozens of warships appeared at once. Weapons charged instantly. Fire. Bright beams of energy cut through the darkness. The battle had begun. The rogue ship reacted fast. A strange field formed around it. The incoming attacks bent away again, just like before. Explosions filled the space, but none touched him. His ship fired back. One blast. A human ship was destroyed. Another blast. 2 more ships gone. The rogue laughed softly. This is your final stand, he said. Pathetic. But something was different. The human ships did not panic. They did not retreat. They kept moving. Carefully. In formation. Sir, they're not attacking normally, the rogue's second said. The rogue watched closely. Ships were not aiming to destroy him. They were aiming, around him. Targeting the asteroids. The space. The field itself. Back on the Admiral's ship, commands came one after another. Unit 3, shift left. Unit 7, hold fire. Release phase charges, now. Everything was controlled. Every move had purpose. Explosions began to change the battlefield. Asteroids broke apart, creating walls of debris. Energy fields became unstable. The entire area started to shift. The rogue ship slowed down. Something is wrong, his second said. The rogue stayed silent. Watching. Thinking. Then. A warning flashed. System interference detected. Another warning. Navigation unstable. The rogue's eyes narrowed. This is not random. Suddenly, more human ships appeared behind him. Then more on his sides. Then above. Then below. He was surrounded. No, his second whispered. That's not possible, we checked this area. The rogue clenched his fist. They didn't hide, he said slowly. They prepared. The Admiral watched everything unfold. Calm as always. Phase 2, he ordered. Hidden devices activated across the asteroid field. Small, invisible machines. Placed earlier, during the retreat. They released a powerful signal. The rogue ship shook. Lights flickered. Weapons slowed. Systems failing, his crew shouted. Shields unstable. The strange field around his ship began to weaken. For the first time. He was vulnerable. Human ships changed formation instantly. Now, they aimed directly at him. The rogue's voice turned cold. Restore systems. Now. We're trying, his crew answered. Something is blocking everything. He looked out at the battlefield. The truth hit him. This was never a desperate fight. This was never a last stand. This was a trap. Back on the Admiral's ship, the young officer spoke quietly. Sir, we have him. The Admiral nodded once. But his face did not change. Not yet, he said. The rogue ship fired wildly now. Less accurate. Less controlled. Human ships dodged and moved like one unit. Perfect timing. Perfect control. The rogue took a deep breath. His anger grew. But also something else. Doubt. He looked at the human fleet again. Then slowly, he understood. You're not trying to win the battle, he said softly. You're ending it. On the other side, the Admiral finally spoke one clear command. Lock target. Every human weapon pointed at the rogue ship. All at once. The space went silent again. Just for a moment. Because the end was seconds away. Everything went still. For a single moment, the battlefield froze. Hundreds of human weapons were locked on one target. The rogue ship. Damaged. Surrounded. Failing. There was nowhere left to run. Inside his command room, warning lights flashed red. Power at 30%. Shields collapsing. Navigation offline. Voices filled the air, loud and panicked. But the rogue commander said nothing. He stood still. Looking out into space. At the fleet that once defeated him. And now, had trapped him again. On the other side, the Admiral watched quietly. Target locked, an officer confirmed. All units ready. The young officer looked at the Admiral. Sir, waiting for your command. The Admiral did not answer right away. His eyes stayed on the screen. On the man who came back for revenge. A communication signal suddenly opened. From the rogue ship. The screen flickered. His face appeared again. Not calm this time. Not confident. But still strong. So, the rogue said slowly, this is your plan. No one spoke. The Admiral stepped forward slightly. Yes, he replied. The rogue gave a small, tired smile. You ran, you hid, just to bring me here. The Admiral's voice stayed calm. No, he said. We guided you here. Silence. The rogue looked around at the battlefield one last time. Asteroids burning. Ships moving in perfect formation. Every path closed. Every escape gone. You learned, the rogue said quietly. The Admiral nodded once. We always do. For a brief second, everything felt still. No anger. No shouting. Just two enemies. Understanding each other. Then the Admiral spoke again. Clear. Direct. This is your last chance. The room behind him went silent. Surrender, he said. And it ends here. The rogue lowered his head slightly. Thinking. Remembering. His defeat. His return. Everything he lost. Everything he tried to take back. Then he looked up again. His eyes were steady. No, he said. Back on the Admiral's ship, the young officer closed his eyes for a second. He already knew the answer. The Admiral gave a small nod. No anger. No emotion. Just acceptance. Understood, he said. The connection ended. For a brief moment, silence returned. Then. Fire. The command echoed across every human ship. And they obeyed. A storm of light exploded through space. Hundreds of energy beams shot forward at once. Bright. Fast. Unstoppable. They struck the rogue ship from every side. The damaged shields broke instantly. The hull cracked. Explosions spread across the surface. Inside, everything fell apart. Systems failed completely. Fire filled the corridors. The crew had no time. No escape. The rogue commander held on to the edge of his console as the ship shook violently. Lights flickered around him. The sound of destruction echoed everywhere. But he did not scream. He did not run. He simply looked forward. For the first time. He understood. This is the end, he said quietly. Outside, the final explosion came. A massive blast of light broke through the darkness. The rogue ship shattered into countless pieces. Gone. Forever. Silence returned to space. No more weapons. No more movement. Just drifting debris. And the end of a long war. On the Admiral's ship, no one cheered. No one celebrated. They just watched. Quietly. "It's over," the young officer said. The Admiral nodded slowly. Yes. He turned away from the screen. The threat is gone. Human ships began to move again. Slowly. Carefully. Restoring order. Across the galaxy, the news spread. The attacks had stopped. The rogue was gone. Systems were safe again. People looked at the stars with a different feeling now. Not fear. But understanding. Humanity did not just fight wars. They ended them. Far in the distance, small pieces of the rogue's ship drifted into the dark. No signal. No life. No return. And in the silence of space, one truth remained. He came back seeking vengeance. But this time, there was no coming back.